Let me drill this tooth for you. Zoop, 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 zoop. Fill, ping. You're good to go.
Party done, got me outside, ready to go jump in the ride.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to apologize ahead of time for the glasses and the reflections that you're probably seeing in my eyes. My eyes were all funny today, and not wearing my glasses just wasn't an option. I would have been completely just blind, so no. But hopefully you can see a little something. So this video was just about like my experience in my first year of dental school. What was it like? What did we do? Exams, all of the good stuff. And if you're watching this video, you are probably someone who's thinking of going into dentistry, or maybe you've already got accepted into dentistry and you kind of want to know what to expect. And so you're like me, because when I was about to start, I was on YouTube trying to figure out what I could expect, and the majority of what I was seeing were American dental students. And so, you know, you might be from the UK and you want to know what's up. So I'm here to let you know. So I go to the University of Central Lancashire, and the main campus is based in Preston. I started my degree September 2017. So for me, it was my first year. However, it was a graduate course, which means rather than the usual 5-year course, I was on a 4-year course. So even though I was a first year dental student, I was technically kind of going straight into my second year of dentistry, if that makes sense.
So quick, we forgot to lock the door. What happens in here, girls?
So before starting the course, we received, like, you know, letters, like some correspondence telling us, you know, what kind of books we needed to, you know, to get. I did not buy any of them. I downloaded them all for free. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but just know I got those books. We also got told what DEC we're going to be in. So DEC actually stands for Dental Education Center, and that's where we see patients and stuff. And so with my university, there are 4 DECs. The 4 options are Accrington, Blackpool, Carlisle and Morecambe. Okay, I'm in Accrington. You know, I was pleased about that because that's what I wanted.
Tell me when you're free, girl, I'll come by and I can pick you up.
The modules that I had to take in my first year were so it's clinical knowledge, clinical skills, anatomy, prosthetics, human health and disease, professionalism, and health promotion and prevention. I think that's it. For clinical knowledge and clinical skills, those kind of go hand in hand, and that's basically the actual stuff to do with dentistry itself. So clinical knowledge is the knowledge around dental decay, otherwise known as caries, periodontitis, gingivitis, several different kinds of conditions when you're doing extractions, and local anesthetic and radiology and all this kind of stuff that you would actually need to know as a practicing dentist. Clinical skills went hand in hand with that. So that was the actual skills side of it. So the clinical knowledge is the theory side of it. The skills is like the practical element. So practicing your drilling and filling, practicing your local anesthetic, practicing your extractions, all that kind of stuff. Then you had anatomy, which is pretty straightforward. We had to learn the entire head and neck anatomy. Now, I'll be honest with you, going into it, I actually thought anatomy was going to be easy. I thought I was gonna know it. It's nothing. No. You need to know every single, okay, every single bone, head and neck, every single vein, every single gland, every single artery. I don't mean like you need to know every single type of artery. No. The name of every single artery that you've got going through here, and here. It was cray. Clearly, me and anatomy did not get along. We had prosthetics, so stuff to do with like dentures. Prosthetics in general is to do with like, you know, dentures, crowns, bridges, all that stuff. But we don't do all of that in our first year. The only one that we really look at is dentures. So that's complete dentures, so for someone who has no teeth in their mouth, and then partial dentures for someone who has some teeth in their mouth. And what we had to do was look at making like a set of dentures from start to finish throughout the years. And yes, it took us the full year to make one set of upper and lower dentures. But we only had prosthetics 1 day a week, but we'll get to that. And then we had human health and disease. So we had anatomy for half the year, and then human health and disease for the other half of the year. And if I hated anatomy, human health and disease, I really hated. That's where you're bringing in some of your knowledge from your previous degree. So things to do with like immunology. So it was like immunology, hematology, endocrinology, oncology, microbiology. So that's where you start learning about different kinds of diseases, different kinds of autoimmune conditions and their effects on dentistry, how they may affect certain patients. So when certain patients come to see you, it might not be that you're treating anything that's got to do with that condition, but the patient has that condition. So knowing how to deal with them when they've got that condition, medicines you can prescribe and how those might interfere. So we start to learn about that stuff just at the base level. I say the base level, but it was hard. It was flipping hard. Yeah. And we also did health prevention and promotion. So that's looking at, you know, research papers and you know, all that kind of stuff, and prevention and dentistry, the importance of not just treating dental conditions and disease or whatever, but the importance of preventing it in the first place. But it was really easy in the first year. We just had to make like a little poster that you could just make on PowerPoint or something like that. It was pretty easy. And then we had our professionalism module, and that was didn't require anything active on our part. It was more just how we conducted ourselves throughout the year. Were we dressing appropriately? Were we you know, adhering to safety precautions and all that kind of stuff? Were we just conducting ourselves in a professional manner? Because it's a professional course and you're going to go on to qualify as a professional. For our first year, we are going to lectures pretty much Monday to Friday in Preston, okay? And it was stressful because I was commuting from one city to another. So I was living in Manchester, but going to lectures in Preston. So commuting, yeah, to and fro each day. So Mondays we usually had prosthetics. Tuesdays we usually had like what they call like the phantom head clinic, which is where you're drilling and filling basically. Wednesday, I can't even remember what we really did. Oh, anatomy, I think it was anatomy lectures and stuff. Thursday, more phantom heads. And then Friday, more anatomy. In phantom heads, you have to kind of get your manual dexterity up there, because when you first start handling a drill, like it's harder than you think when you first start and you're not used to it. And then, you know, by the end of it, you're just like, let me drill this tooth for you. Zoop, 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 zoop. Fill, ping, you're good to go. I'm saying that like I'm like a pro, but I'm not. I'm really not. And then anatomy, like I said, we were just learning everything to and fro. So exams and stuff, right? The first thing we had, this was like 2 or 3 weeks into the course, we had a tooth morphology spotter. And that's where you have to learn not only like the names of each tooth that you've got in the mouth, you have to learn some naming systems for them. There's the actual name of the tooth, and there's like a numerical kind of system for numbering them, and there's different types, and we had to learn the different types. We had to learn kind of like the shape of each tooth, literally like the angle, like does it usually have a sharp angle here? Does it usually have a curved angle here? How long is the root usually? And then since that wasn't bad enough, you imagine doing that for every tooth in the mouth for an adult, and then every tooth in the mouth for a child. Then you have to learn the eruption dates for all of them. So you have to learn at what age each tooth usually actually, you know, shows up in the mouth. The calcification dates for every single tooth. So this is adult and child. The root formation dates and the crown formation dates. So 4 sets of dates for every tooth in the mouth for an adult and a child. Okay, so yes, we had an exam on tooth morphology, and that was within the first few weeks of being at dental school. So straight in there, straight in. Okay. After that, we had anatomy spotter. So we had a practice one, and then we had the real thing literally like a few weeks later. It was where they have models of different parts of head and neck anatomy, and you have to kind of go round. They give you a certain amount of time at each station, okay, and they'll ask you a certain question about what it is you're looking at. Okay, you have to give an answer. So sometimes they could actually just be asking you, what is this part called? Okay, so what is this vein called, or this nerve, or whatever else it is, because it might be clearly shown or clearly displayed. I think the actual exam for that was, I think, in November. So we started the course in September. We had that tooth morphology one in October. We had the anatomy one, the anatomy spotter, in November. Then December comes, we go on our, you know, Christmas holidays. Right when we come back in January, boom, the anatomy written exam straight away. So we had to do that. And then we were finished with anatomy, okay? Then I think February comes and we have a radiology and local anesthetic. So we had like two, it was like a combined multiple choice question exam thing based on radiology and local anesthetic. And even though technically it doesn't count towards like our overall grade for the year, we had to pass them. If you didn't pass them, you had to do it over again. You can't progress without passing them. Then we had, I think, one part of our, it was either clinical knowledge or clinical skills we had in February as well. Listen, when it starts to get into February, March, April, May, it all becomes a blur because it's just exams after exams after exams. But it's more end of April, beginning of May that we then had all of our exams. So all of our exams on every module except for anatomy, obviously, because we had finished that, and except for professionalism, because we don't do an exam for that, and except for health promotion and prevention, because there was no exam for that. With clinical knowledge and clinical skills, we have an online sort of written and multiple choice exam, but we also have to do what's called an O.S.C.I.A.L.S, so O-S-C-E. I had to think for a second. I was like, and it asked me what it stands for. I can't even remember. It's something like observed structural clinical examiner. I can't remember. Listen, I'm just going to insert it on the screen, okay? So you will see it right here somewhere, okay? So just in this region, I don't know, over here. It says that it's a practical exam, it's observed, okay? So it's, you go from station to station and you have to do something different in every station. So in one station it might be they've got an actor in there and you have to do a role play. Then we had another one where on a model we had to do local anesthetic, just different stuff that you have to do. It doesn't require like cramming and memorization like you do with a written exam. However, you're being observed, so if you don't know what you're doing, they can see you, right? That they can see that you do not know what you're doing. If you walk in and they tell you to chart something and you don't know how to chart, they will see that you do not know how to chart, okay? For the sake of not making a fool out of yourself, you want to make sure that you study beforehand. We finished our exams in May. And so while the rest of, you know, the university and everybody else gets to go home and live their lives now because, you know, it's summer now and you get to, like, you know, turn up, we don't get to do that, okay? They still keep us for lectures and everything until the end of July. I would be like on Instagram just seeing people, like, you know, live their life, and I'm just here like, wow. So I'm really still in lectures. How much still in lectures, please? After exams finished, we were learning new stuff. So we started learning more stuff to do with pediatrics. So that's working with children. So we started our pediatrics course, and we also started our extractions course. Also, I did not mention, for anyone who doesn't know, when we learn about like local anesthetic and stuff, we practice on each other. So just so you know, so if people who are concerned about their like dentists, if you go to a dental school for treatment, we practice on each other before we go anywhere near you with a needle. Just thought you should know. So we were still learning stuff after exams ended, and then we started seeing our first patients. So when exams finished, they started scheduling us to go into our D.I.S.C.O.U.N.T.S twice a week. So it was Thursdays and Fridays we started going in. So after exams were done, we started going into D.I.S.C.O.U.N.T.S Thursdays and Fridays, so we can kind of start getting used to D.I.S.C.O.U.N.T, used to being in there more frequently. And what they did was they would schedule us to see a patient, I think on like every Thursday. So you get paired up with someone. So for that period, and also for the first semester of my second year, I was paired with, I think, Stephen, who you saw in my vlog video. If you haven't seen my vlog video, you need to see the vlog video. I was paired with Stephen, and yeah, so Stephen would see one patient maybe in the morning, I would see one in the afternoon. So they were just trying to ease us into it, which is why we didn't have many patients or anything like that. It was just one each for the day. We were shook. And when it came to like the first patients, we were shook. We were literally just like, oh my gosh, I can't remember how to do this. How do you do this? Oh my gosh, what do I say when they first walk in? Nervousness, like full on nerves. it's hilarious now when I think back to it, because I'm kind of like, was I really scared to do? So they don't schedule you for any like actual serious treatments or procedures or anything. It's literally just dental exams. So doing exams with people, that's it. But we were still shook. We were like, oh my gosh, I can't remember, what's the process? What am I supposed to look at? Do I have a template so I know what to look at? It was like, it was nerve-wracking. I'm like, oh, I miss those days when all I had to do was an exam. Good times, good stuff. So that was what we were doing for those few months after exams ended. And that was it. And then, yeah, we got to go away for the summer and then right back to the daily grind in September. So that was it. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Of course, once again, I will see you on the next video because you would have subscribed and you would have switched on notifications too, which means you will know when my next video goes up, and then you'll be one of the first people watching it, hopefully. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to know more about what you can expect from dental school and you want to see more of these kind of videos, then please go ahead and subscribe so that you can see them. But yeah, all right, have a good day, guys. Bye.
We went straight to the bedroom, first floor, so quick we forgot to lock the door. What happens in here, girl, stays in here. You know, when I kiss Sunday, tell me she been waiting.